Geraldo Rivera had a very famous special back in the 80s. Devil Worship, Exposing Satan's Underground was my first exposure to the idea of Satanism as a type of religion that people actually followed. And of course, it later led me to reading the books of Anton Casander LaVey. And his daughter was one of the guests on the show. One of the things that I disagree with about the show is that I say that Satanism is not an emotion, nor is it mere negativity. And there's the question we must ask ourselves: are the spirits or demons, or whatever you want to call them, reliable in what they claim? And why should we not look at some of that stuff versus what the churches are teaching, when the churches couldn't even keep to their Bibles? People say, oh, it was written in manuscripts, but they were changing it. They were putting things in margins and stuff, right? And another question is, if possession is real, are the possessed as or more responsible? And I'm releasing this in December because of the leading direction that it has. It has that person at the end, very deliberate. They shut him off, but they include him because of Geraldo Rivera's Christian belief. Because obviously, there's more ways out of being a satanic killer, or whatever they're trying to convince you might be if you listen to heavy metal music too much and all that, than being a devout Christian trying to convert everybody. There's, you know, and certainly people who may not intend to offend and all that still do, and they got to be aware of what they may or may not do. And that's one of the things that the Temple of Set and the Church of Satan representative, Michael Aquino, was the Temple Set representative, and they seem to be more responsible about their decisions than these other guests. And we have freedom to be part of whatever church we want or not be part of a church. And so somebody saying, oh, we're talking about all these values and stuff. And it's like, if you're talking about ethics, ethics, well, Christianity and Judaism kind of do teach ethics. Islam is sort of beyond ethics, because it's like, well, follow the law of the land where you should be able to, right? And other than that, you follow the basic religious obligations. So they have morals, and ethics are totally flexible depending on what the law of the land is or your materials. Um, but a lot of what they say are just ethics that anybody can have, morals that people can have. But a Satanist chooses their own morals. We can accept things without trying to speculate as to them being differently as presented. And that's one thing I agree with the supposed representations listed out, is that we don't have to explain things as them not being what they seem to be. And one of the things that's brought up is, why are not the courts is trying these as religiously inspired crimes? Because that doesn't do anything. In America, there's no difference in terms of religion. And you can't say, oh, it's my religion to be able to. It's like you're not insane because you have a different religion than the mainstream. That's not how it works. People address the external and the way they think of the internal. Now, one of the cases mentioned in it as a satanic killing, and the conclusion was basically because the guy had heavy metal posters and pentagrams and stuff all about, which may have just been associated with the heavy metal posters. Um, is that killing? People question is like, how did he kill himself under those circumstances? Right? Is it the father? Is it did the father come in and do that and find out what the son did and then did that to him? Or, you know, cut him extra to make sure that those are real possibilities. I don't know the evidence, but that's what people are looking at. And so, but the idea there was that he had ideas that he addressed to family in the same way he addressed them to himself. And you can see that with some of the other individuals, like the gang and one of the killers. One of the killers just wanted fame. I mean, they wanted this power, whether the fame came with it or not. We can notice that satanic crime must be rare if we look at the numbers and the possible implications of some of these things. Just like some of the stuff that's attributed to churches and stuff, it's like, yes, power structures of churches have been used to cover up stuff, but it's less common among the clergies of those groups and less common among the church goers when you compare it to the regular people who don't go to any religious organization at all and people who even claim a faith. That does have a positive effect on their crime rate. And Satanism too, you don't really see the higher numbers of the crimes and stuff that people say. Although you can put it on the news, like now it's racial things. So if one group does almost all these crimes, they don't report on it because they can't talk about it for months about, oh, this injustice of racial proportions. Um, so statistics and policies are a lot more important to look at. And by policies, teachings of satanic groups. And there's a wide variety. We need to be honest about that part. Some will do things regardless of what path they find themselves in, and others end up filling the mold the mainstream said existed among those who didn't conform. So people figure, oh, I'm not in church, and they end up being the sort of person that they're told that they have to be. I was contacted via Facebook before they banned me for um, promoting spirituality over drugs and stuff that didn't fit with the mainstream narrative of the conflict of civilization. Um, I didn't violate any terms of service, but they made sure to tell me, "Oh, here's your emails from you had this email back in middle school." It's like I forgot about that. That sort of stuff. But people thought, "Oh, you had to kill your family and all sorts of stuff." And it's like, why? Why do you even think that? That they saw it on a movie or they saw it on some show like this. It is important that Satanism is not persecuted as a mere belief and ritual system. Sometimes it is character traits that are combated against. So when people say death to the weakling and all that other stuff, it doesn't mean that they're going to be all Spartan about it and, determine when their kid is young, they're going to kill them and put them on the hill because he or she doesn't seem like they'll be a hard worker when they get older. Some of that could change, but that's people would kill their kids over that. And nowadays, abortions is the way that people do that. Sometimes, oh wait, Satanism is not the same as any particular group's practice. And that's one of the issues that comes up with this thing too. It's like just because this Temple of Set has its ways, and the Church of Satan or the Order of Nine Angles or what other group as its way as the true Satanism, even at the point where people are looking at it as, oh, well, there's not other Satanists or not fully Satanist. And it's like, that's not how it works. You could say Satanism, Yazidi. The Yazidi basically say whatever you do or don't do for Shaitan, Moloch, Azazel, you know, Gnog Manog, whatever you don't do for him and his entities. People call them angels because in English, angels are kind of ambiguous, but they're the beings of transcendent fire. So anything can be done or not done. So some people totally fit into society, some people don't, and that's you know some of these abuse claims seem like little more than the mothers projecting their fantasies and paranoia, or even well, trying to get the upper hand over the fathers. The lack of evidence to charge with a crime or look further into it, and the looks and tones used, particularly by the mothers, and the seeming to lack, they seem to lack any real horror, and it makes it seem inauthentic. Anyone would go into hiding over such accusations. You know, even the chance that you're going to be locked up or killed by the crowd over such things. And when it comes to certain stuff, people go overboard. They just don't kill you quick or something like that. So you don't want to be, and that's one of the things too. There's so many accusations going back and forth of some of the worst crimes. People, no evidence, and but right, feminism was meant to terrorize men. That's really one of its side effects, or costs that people are willing to. The idea that the state would allow someone who is no less than an accomplice that made death penalty worthy crimes possible get away with it, just because they're testifying, is more of a corruption and risk in terms of secular ideas of crime than the cults they claim are a threat. Because in some societies, they're like, we're going to prove guilty and execute as many of the people involved in this crime to this degree as possible. Oh, they didn't do the death blow. So the other people who held down the person, or they didn't do the rape themselves. They just helped drag the person into the room or something. It's like, no, that's other, and it becomes far more of a deterrent when you can't snitch on your friends. And I call it snitching because not because, well, one, it depends on the offense, right? But the idea that you're telling on what the other people are doing, like, I don't know the situation of the one guy, like, did he tell on his friends and his friends weren't like whatever, and they were off working their way up to killing human beings? But again, people, there's plenty of bullies and stuff that make their way towards more serious crimes. Of course, they can torture people until they, people off themselves or something. But it's the sort of person that it would happen with anyways, I think. It seems that people are using mention of unnameable cults and leaders with no physical evidence that anybody can ever point to of the crimes that they mentioned to cover up responsibility for running away, whatever they neglected, and their own immorality. And sometimes some of these people are just mentally ill and they really needed some treatment, but they were encouraged with this sort of stuff. I have met Christian women that didn't they didn't have any actual memory, and they just assume stuff, or they were directed by their church that their unusual experience must mean that they were demonically haunted, and they end up terrorizing themselves because of their religious beliefs. And it's like their dreams or whatever wasn't really causing a problem in their life. Satanism is not the same as whatever is not part of a Christian or other upbringing. And Michael Aquino made a very good point that, listen, these people are thinking that it's satanic because, they're told this is just not the Christian thing. And that's one of the points that's maybe missed from my pansexual mixtape Pride Month. Oh, what else did I call it? LGBT agenda uh, clip show. Because it's like, I think I had one woman say, "Oh, they think that's satanic," and that's the whole thing too. It's just like it's not the same thing. Now people are going to say that certain things are, but you know, there's influence that's not so conscious. Let's put it that way.